Hello everyone, my name is Felix Kolenko and welcome to another episode of Dashboards Worth Using. In this episode, I'm introducing another dashboard on billable hours. The one I use in my business every Monday to track, number one, billable hours for the previous week, and that by customers and by consultants, but also what is planned for the current week, and above all, what is the impact of month-to-date actuals and this week's planning on our monthly targets. Well, when it comes to billable hours, there are a couple of challenges here. The number one, service customers just right, which means too many billable hours is not good and not enough is not good either. Both are equally bad. The second, well, we would like to make sure that our people are utilized to the highest possible level. And the third, we would like to make sure that they are effective with what they do. So, if you've got 10 or more people for whom you bill your customers on hourly or on daily basis, and you serve, let's say, more than 5 customers, then here is one version of a dashboard that I believe it's worth using on a weekly basis. So let's take a look at it. Well, the title sets the context. I'm here in week 21 of 2018. The upper part of the dashboard is focused on the customers. The lower part is focused on the people, on our consultants. The left part of the dashboard is focused on the last week, and the right part is focused on the current week. Now, in the header, I have got the totals. First, the total number of billable hours that we had last week. We also here show the delta to plan, the difference to the plan. In this case, is red, it's minus 10, but in relation to 313, that's not so bad. And we show also for this week how many billable hours are planned or allocated. Now, let's take a look at the individual charts. The first one, for the customers, we show what is the actual number of billable hours that we have had compared to the target for that week. We also show the utilization, or we show the percentage of billable hours in comparison to what was booked. The same principle we use for the consultants in the lower part. This is where it gets really interesting. That's the plan. Or here's the impact of our planning for this week. We have planned how many hours each of our consultants is going to work, or at least it should work, this week for which customer. What we see here are the consolidated totals for each customer and each consultant. Now, this chart may for many of you be the most impactful chart on this dashboard. It shows month-to-date actuals plus what we planned for this week in relation to our monthly target. We can see here clearly in red the customers who we are overserving and the customers who we are underserving. What is the value of knowing here? Well, nothing has happened so far in the week. And if my account managers or myself, we don't like the impact of month-to-date actuals, okay, the month-to-date actuals we cannot change, but this week's planning, if we don't like the impact of this can still be adjusted this week. Well, here's another interesting chart. We claim that our consultants are most effective if they work for 1 or at most 2 customers in a week. So this chart shows how many customers our consultants are allocated to for the current week. And the line with 2 says, well, everything that is above, it's not so good. So, how does this dashboard now address the challenges that I have mentioned at the beginning of this episode? First of all, how can we make sure with this dashboard that we are not spending too much time on our customers, but also at the same time that we are spending enough time on servicing our customers? Well, it's the upper part. For last week, well, there's not much we can do for the last week, but it at least tells us how we've done according to the plan. But this week's charts, the 2 charts on the right, tell us exactly, okay, this is what we have planned. And the last one, the last chart on the right side, tells us what the impact of our planning and month-to-date actuals is. We would like to have high utilization level. How can we make sure this with this chart? First of all, we'll look at the previous week. What was our utilization level in previous week? Well, there are some people for whom the utilization level is very low. What is the first question we are going to ask here? Well, first of all, are the hours that they have booked, were they booked properly? Was the billable flag set? Second of all, are some of them maybe stuck on major issues? Do they need help? So this is how already how the numbers of the last week help us quite a bit. And obviously, we see here the planning for this week. Now, there are a few people who are below the line of 36 hours that we would usually like to have. And what can we do now on Monday? Well, we see here that Martha Tier is just booked or allocated this week for 16 hours. Now, she may be sick, she may be out on vacation, but it is equally likely that maybe she was just forgotten, not allocated to a customer. That's the right time at the beginning of the week to do something about this. How about the effectiveness? Well, I've mentioned this already. We believe that we are effective if we serve one, at most two customers. If some of our people are allocated to more, well, at the beginning of the week, we still got enough time to change this to make sure that they are servicing or working on at most 2 to 3 customers. So here's some food for thought for you in this context. Are you tracking your actual numbers? Well, how are you tracking them? How often? Just the end of the month when the invoices are issued? Are you comparing your actuals to what you have planned? Are you tracking your utilization levels? How about your planning? Have you got a planning process? Probably you do, okay? But how often do you plan? Just once a month? Maybe once a week? Or on daily basis maybe? Now, what impact on your business would it mean if you knew on a weekly basis what does the weekly plan, the weekly allocation that you and your account managers have created in comparison together with month-to-date actuals compared to monthly target, if you knew this every week. In other words, if you knew every week which of your customers are overserved and which of your customers are underserved. And at the same time, you could proactively make sure every Monday that all of your resources are properly utilized this week. Now, how much in dollars or euros or whatever your currency is would this mean for your business? Now, let me tell you, for one of my businesses, I have mentioned this already, with currently 10 consultants serving approximately 5 to 7 customers per month, it means for us 3,000 to 5,000 euro a month. So, there you have it. Another dashboard very well worth using, especially for those of you whose business model is based on billable hours. Well, we use this dashboard every Monday. And for me, it is actually more than just worth using. With the number of consultants we have gotten, with the number of customers we serve, well, I have mentioned already the financial impact of that. But what is even more important, we can serve our customers better and we can actually utilize our people better, and we also make sure that they are working in a more effective way. So, leave me your comments. Tell me what you think about this dashboard. And if you're already using similar dashboards, share that with me, and maybe even I can make improvements on my dashboard. But you can also be a guest on dashboards worth using. If you have got a few questions about your business and you would need a dashboard to answer these questions in an actionable way, I may be able to help you design this dashboard and then share it in one of the upcoming episodes. For this, just send me an email to fkolenko@dashboardsworthusing.com. Put guest in the subject line. Tell me a bit about your business and what kind of dashboard you would need. And if it's a good fit, I will get in touch with you. Hope you have enjoyed this episode, and I hope it was also useful. If you haven't done this yet, go ahead and subscribe to Dashboards Worth Using now. And if you would like me to help you design and implement your dashboards and reports, just send me an email to evgolenko@dashboardsworthusing.com and let's start the dialogue. So that's it for this episode. Happy dashboarding, happy monitoring of your billable hours, happy increasing your billable hours ratio, and I will see you in the next episode.